They are in the country to explore business opportunities. This is an 80-man strong German business delegation which is interested in agribusiness. It is being led by German's agriculture minister, who has paid a courtesy call on President Hakainde Hichilema at State House.
We really appreciate that Zambia goes a different way. Zambia goes the way towards democracy, towards rule of law. And this is also the reason why we believe that this is more than just a relationship between two states. This is friendship between Zambia and between Germany. And we would help what is in our capacity. As you know, that this year the federal government has promised Zambia funds for totaling 108 million euros.
And President Hichilema has called for joint ventures between Zambian and German firms.
We have been able to largely achieve the debt restructuring, something we call the mission impossible. Very difficult situation. But Germany was on board, European Union, of course, with Germany's heavy influence in the EU, was on board to support our case to achieve debt restructuring. We want to work with you on the capital mobilization, very important. Not just the debt, but also equity. That's why we're happy. Investors are here to work with German investors to look at our country, which is attractive in many ways. We host critical minerals. We are talking about going green as a world. This country is part of the story of us getting green.
Meanwhile, President Hichilema has hosted a meeting with the disability community in the country. The community presented a communique which had 17 proposals.
Elevate the Zambia Agency for Persons with Disabilities to the office of the Vice President. The agency has failed to attract the resources it requires to fulfill its mandate owing to its position under the Department of Social Welfare in the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. Furthermore, the agency has no jurisdiction to enforce its mandate around accessibility of public buildings and mainstreaming of disability to line ministries owing to its low positioning in government ranks.
You make it a bit high up so that the snakes and other things don't easily find themselves crawling there. In the actual fact, we are disadvantaging a person, a child with a wheelchair, to climb up there in the toilet. These are small things, His Excellency, that we want you to be aware of. Hence, an immediate need for the Directorate of Special and Inclusive Education to look into the issues of special education at the Ministry of General Education.
In response, President Hichilema called for the establishment of a committee to work on the proposals.
So I think it's important that for me we proceed the way we have agreed so that we can, Cabinet Office and my colleagues from the Ministry, you have taken note of all these issues. We get a copy of their message, right, including the interaction here, because what he said, some of them may not be in the report. So we pull all of these things together, and we can assure you this is the way this government is working now.
President Hichilema further said government is doing a lot to alleviate the suffering of people in the disability community.
This government has employed more teachers, more differently abled than any government, in fact, than governments combined together. 6 presidents before me. In 3 years, I've employed more differently abled people than the 6 presidents before me. How about that? Numbers don't lie, eh? So when you give us that small group, we'll now be looking into those issues. So you can yourself see what your government has done in 3 years under difficult conditions. Inherited a collapsed economy with a huge debt, but we've still been able to employ, we've still been able to bring free education.
As a way of trying to work with the disability community, President Hichilema has proposed for quarterly meetings to check on progress on disability inclusion.